Good afternoon. My name is Bryce Gilroy. This is a pitch of my business GBP lead. Let's get right into it. Problem: most businesses are listed on Google. Only a few of them actually pop up when they're searched, right? You mainly have two options when you search up something, such as, you have an HVAC, prime example. You got sponsored results and organic results. Sponsored, obviously, they're paying an arm and a leg, get their name out there. And organic results are, well, organic, right? They're getting up there organically, they're getting up there free, no cost to them. Bottom line, most people choose the top three organic listings opposed to sponsor results or going out of the way to find more businesses that are not ranked in the top three. Prime example, when your AC goes out in summertime here in Florida, you want to get that thing fixed ASAP. You're looking up HVAC contractor Naples, Florida. You're probably going to pick one of those top three businesses that pop up immediately because, well, you're hot. You don't want to be hot. You want to be nice and cool. It's summertime. You want to get that problem resolved as fast as possible, right? So bottom line, businesses that are not ranking in the top three are losing revenue and losing potential customers to their competitors and honestly paying an arm and a leg for ads that just don't convert well. Primary customer segments, right? Service-based businesses, plumbers, HVAC, water restoration, especially here in Naples, hurricanes. Hurricanes come through here, wreck your house. Ideal client in this scenario, someone who's not ranking in the top three, has a current clientele going for them, has the ball rolling already, and has the budget to work with us, right? We're looking for people who are already spending money on ads. It shows that they already have the money to go, okay? Moving on to our competition. Competition here is pretty slim, not even gonna lie. The typical, as you have your typical SEO and marketing agency you can find online, or you have your freelancers on Fiverr and Upwork. But these guys really focus on so much of the website itself as opposed to not really the vehicle that's going to get the business name out to the people. Right, that's where the people is where the money's at. Their method is kind of slow and it tends to be expensive and comes out dated. Right. However, our advantage as when we walk into physical offices with visual proof in hand, I'll get into that in a second. Focusing on the Google business profile that each business has when they're registered with Google, which is completely free. And we only are going to work with three different businesses per industry, per city, because, well, there's only three spots on Google. So our solution, pretty much optimizing a business's Google business profile, getting it ranked higher so they pop up within one of the first results when someone searches up their industry. Example in this case, HVAC repair in Fort Myers, Florida. Going back to that example I mentioned earlier, you want to get that AC fixed as soon as possible. If you're an HVAC contractor, your phone's gonna be ringing off the hook if you're popped up as number one, right? So what does optimizing a GP really include? Uploading new photos, responding to reviews, creating blogs with keywords that Google recognizes to get your business out there, right? And obviously tracking everything from the start. Now, how are we going to get ourselves out there? Simply knocking on offices is the number one way. I did this personally, knocking on offices with heat maps in hand, talking to the owners, pitching to them right there on the spot, or cold calling them, cold emailing them, simply word of mouth or social media platforms, right? Our estimated kind of customer acquisition costs, honestly, coming down to time-based costs, right? We're walking into offices. We don't know how much time we have. We might get somebody. We might sit there for 5 minutes, or we might sit there for 20 minutes talking to the owner. It depends, right? You got to print out. You got to set up the time to meet. You got to print out the prints, and then if let's say you're driving there, it can be 50 to a buck 50 per client. So moving on, our unit cost, our kind of gross profit. We have a few different kinds of packages. Excuse me. We have a setup fee starting at $750 all the way to $1,500 depending on the selected package. Then we have a maintenance fee $500 to $1,350. So it's a reoccurring revenue business model, right? Our costs pretty low, pretty lean startup. We have a software subscriptions. We have to print out the heat maps, and we have to pay for gas if we're going to the offices, right? So altogether, maybe $250, maybe even $3 to $350 depending on today's gas prices, right? Our kind of financial projections, though, months 1 to 3, we get 1 to 2 clients at $500 to $1,500 a month. We got the ball rolling, right? We can use those people as testimonials and use those as referrals to more businesses, and then 3 to 6, and then 6 to 10, and so on and so forth. And you see the numbers on the screen here, estimated annual revenue, 40 to 80 grand, right? That's amazing. Now, if funding needs, it's pretty low. Like I said before, it's pretty lean. Just need 3 grand. Use for this. I could use this for more marketing materials. I could use it for better outreach support, connecting with other people, maybe building a better website, or maybe even this, using that 3 grand for a down payment on a more fuel efficient car. Like I said, this is just me, but in the future, I'm going to need some kind of sales support, account manager, whatever the case is. Bottom line here, service businesses need to be visible online because that's where today is online. And if you're not visible online, you're missing out. You're leaving a lot of money on the table, and being seen online drives more revenue than anything else. The vision here, to build kind of a local SEO agency that generates a reoccurring revenue streams, right? I'm just simply looking for support to scale this business further. Thank you.